Profiles in Nope, not going to do the voice. Profiles in Cinemania. Gilbert Gottfried. In Memoriam. Among the perpetrators of Cinemania, one voice rises above all others in its distinction and resonance, with all the appeal of a rusty saw cutting broken glass. Even if you had no idea who he was, you knew that voice. Gilbert Jeremy Gottfried. Because, of course, his middle name was Jeremy. It could be nothing less. Gottfried built a career on reminding people of that one kid in gym class whom everyone knew. You know, the scrawny little shithead, usually named Jeremy, whose only defense against getting beaten up was a mouth foul enough to send any potential bully into paroxysms of crippling laughter. What's more, Gilbert made it okay to be that guy. Gottfried stood head and shoulders below his contemporaries in the explosion of new stand-up comedy megastars of the 1980s, but he always punched well above his weight. Whereas the likes of Andrew Dice Clay put on an aggressively unlikable persona to mine laughs out of discomfort, Gottfried lived in that place where people didn't know whether to laugh or to hit him. He was brilliant at persuading audiences that he was genuinely that bad. Other vile persona comedians soon became tiresome because the same act over and over always eventually wears thin. There's only so many times you can watch Bobcat Goldthwait have the same nervous meltdown on stage, after all. Gottfried, however, was able to stick around in public consciousness like a fishbone in a collective throat because people didn't realize it was an act with him. He was really a nice guy. Honest. Gottfried achieved legendary status among his peers for his private renditions of an old vaudeville bit called The Aristocrats. A joke so legendarily awful, so repellent, so frothingly vile with each retelling that it never failed to get a big laugh, usually in relief that the pain is over as much from the joke itself. In case you're wondering, the bit is so horrifying, if done correctly that is, that we here at the Cinemania Society will refrain from playing it even in these dissolute times. Never content to be constrained by boundaries of propriety, Gottfried took to performing this rotten old number in public, at around the same time as he crafted his signature grating voice while performing as the delightfully duplicitous Iago in Disney's Aladdin. Yes, all you sheltered kids too young to remember, Gilbert Gottfried was cast as the comic relief in a Disney film. A Disney film. He could use virtually any material to reduce an audience to helplessness and keep them there, laughing at all parts of a joke, setup, delivery, punchline, and segue. Here he is performing the Litany Against Fear from Frank Herbert's Dune, commissioned by members of the Society.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
Gottfried's base philosophy was that comedy and tragedy were roommates, and they were fucking noisily at all hours of the night. He refused to compromise his transgressive nature even in the most delicate of situations. In other words, nothing was off limits. He made fun of everything, at any time, usually when it was most inappropriate, even making a crack about 9/11 3 weeks after the Twin Towers fell. Too soon, they said. Show me the guy with the calendar counting down to okay to joke about it day, he replied. Gilbert Gottfried will be remembered as a filthy, foul, wonderfully perverse purveyor of the profane for as long as people get a guilty laugh at something they really shouldn't be laughing at. He was one of the elite, the top people, the creme de la creme, or as we call them, the aristocrats. This has been another Profile in Cinemania. This episode was written by Ethan Ireland and Andy Slack. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. Profiles in Cinemania is a production of the Cinemania Society, LLC.